What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic. So excited to talk about TNA tonight. It was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. There weren't a lot of matches. I didn't feel like. It felt like it was like there weren't as many matches, but it didn't feel like the promos were like too long or overbearing or anything like that. So like it didn't feel like there were a ton of matches, but the show didn't feel like super long to me. I don't know what you thought about that, because I did feel like it was short on matches, but I didn't feel like the show was like any longer or it was any more boring or anything like that. Any thoughts on just the show overall?
I mean, to me, it felt longer, but not in a bad, like it wasn't boring long, but to me, it did seem a little bit longer, probably because there wasn't as many matches, but yeah, at least it wasn't
Alrighty,
from yesterday.
alrighty. Let's jump into the first thing that we had tonight was basically the building up of the summit that they were going to do tonight. The like Drew Galloway versus EC3 match was the main event tonight, and they were building up some sort of like they called it a summit. I don't know why, but they did. They called it a summit, and basically like throughout the night we'd get some like it's coming up soon, and all of this. So they were building that up. Any thoughts on just them building it up? We'll get into it a little bit later, but any thoughts on just the build up of it? I guess.
It was stupid. It was so stupid. It was it was dumb. It was real dumb. It was real dumb. Uh, I mean, I was excited for the match, but it's so dumb. Dumb.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I mean, I'll get into it later, but for some reason I just kind of liked it. I don't know what it was. It was just I thought it was different. It's kind of something. It was just different to me, and I'm not ever opposed to anything that's terribly different. I guess. Let's jump into the number one contenders battle royal. I hope I got everyone. I tried my best to get everyone. We have Robbie E versus Jesse Goddard versus Eli Drake versus Vasil Baraka versus Bandax versus Grado versus Mahabali Shera versus Mike Bennett versus Moose versus Eddie Edwards. Where's Davey Richards? Versus Eddie Edwards. Uh, this is pretty much battle royal. That's pretty much what it was. Like battle royals are pretty much always the same. And this is pretty much you know pretty much just a battle royal to determine who was going to be the number one contender. Lashley was on commentary, talking about how he beats people up. That was pretty much it. Um, he made Pope run away, which I thought was kind of funny. Um, and then freaking I guess the only thing here was like every time Moose would stand in the middle of the ring, someone would like run into him and he'd eliminate him. That was pretty much Moose's thing tonight. Um, Basil Baraka like backed into him by accident and like he got eliminated. So I just thought that was pretty cool to see Moose kind of just dominate the match, show that he is a dominating force. Freaking I was a little upset that he just manhandled Mahabali Shera. like Mahabali Shera, there was this big face off in the middle of the ring between Moose and Mahabali Shera, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be a big thing. Mahabali like basically just threw himself out of the ring. I was like, my goodness, okay. Um, this is a pretty good match. We ended up with the final four being Eddie Edwards, Mike Bennett, Moose, and I think was it Jesse Goddard, if I'm not mistaken? I thought I wrote down the final four. I did not. I think it was Jesse Goddard though, which was actually kind of cool because you don't really see Jesse. Yeah, because he hit that springboard. That's what it was. It was Jesse. You don't really see Jesse in like a singles capacity as much anymore, being with the Bromans, and I liked him as a singles guy. So I thought it was pretty cool to see Jesse in the final four. Um, I thought that was kind of cool, but Jesse gets eliminated, and Moose is about to take out Mike Bennett. No, not Mike Bennett, but Eddie Edwards, and Mike Bennett comes in. I'm getting excited just for Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett comes in and he throws out both Moose and Eddie Edwards. Moose is not happy, as you would think, as we would get a backstage segment about that, like about how mad he was. But any thoughts on the Battle Royal and Mike Bennett being your new number one contender for the TNA World Title. If Mike Bennett's the number one contender, then what's EC3? Like anyway, any thoughts on that?
They didn't think about that. They didn't, that was something that they didn't, think in the mind. So they have two number one contenders now. So that works out really well. Good job, TNA. Proud of you. I liked it. I think battle royals are always fun, especially when you get to see guys that you don't normally get to see that much. Even when they're not going to win. Uh, when Grado was eliminated, I sent DJ a message. I was like, so Grado's not going to win. Is that how that works? But yeah, I liked it. I kind of like the. I think we kind of saw it coming. The ending, with Mike Bennett kind of using Moose to get the win, and then later on we kind of see some mind games from Bobby Roode a little, or Bobby Lashley a little bit, which was interesting. But I wanted to see Moose. I did. I wanted to see Moose Lashley. Why is TNA not giving me what I want?
I agree. I was upset about that too because I was like, okay, we about to get Moose and Lashley. Let's go. Let's do it. Moose and Lashley and Mike. No. I was like, okay, then I'll take it. No. But anyway, um, we went backstage, and Moose was not happy. Any thoughts on Moose being not happy? Obviously, that's the typical reaction when you lose a match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you happy when you lose a match, you're probably in the wrong business. I'm just, unless that's your goal is to lose matches. And then you know what? You get you a job with the WWE, you can lose all the time. You'll be a jobber. You just lose all the time. You will be the happiest man in the world. I just helped a lot of people out right there. um, you know, hopefully they build something up with this, and maybe give him a singles push because that'd be great. Singles.
I, I honestly think I think they're gonna break up like before Bound for Glory, and they're gonna feud at Bound for Glory. I think that's gonna be a match at Bound for Glory. It seems like because Mike Bennett, like obviously he's gonna lose to Lashley. He's gonna lose to Lashley, and Lashley's gonna face EC3 at Bound for Glory, leaving Mike Bennett and Moose nothing to do. And obviously, two of your biggest signees, you're not gonna be like, well, sorry, we got nothing for you. Like I don't see that happening. But anyway, move on to the Decay and the Hardys. I guess their kind of feud officially starting. I was excited about this. Matt Hardy heads to the ring with his contract. God, I just can't like if for those of you TNA fans who don't watch WWE, I just want to bring this up real quick. The Dudleys were giving their like retirement thing. I don't know if it's real or not. I couldn't really tell. But they were giving their little retirement speech. And they were like, and Devon comes up and he's like, we had some of the greatest matches with guys like Edge and Christian and the Hardys and the fans, all of them. Like I think it was every one of them chant delete, delete, delete. It was so hilarious. Especially if you're a TNA fan and you've heard so many people like crap on Matt Hardy and crap on this whole thing. It's just hilarious. And I also think it's funny because we always talk about how many people don't watch TNA, right? But then like when the crowd, like an entire Brooklyn crowd, goes crazy over a Matt Hardy like like joke, like you gotta be watching at least some of it, which I think is actually kind of funny. Did you have any thoughts on that? I just thought it was hilarious. I didn't catch it the first time, but I saw it on the internet and I was like, I gotta go back and watch this because I didn't catch it.
It was kind of cool, yeah, it was just one of those funny moments where you're like, yeah, you guys watch TNA. Don't you lie to me. You delete. I could see Vince in the back just going, no, stop it.
Mute the crowd. Mute the crowd.
Put in some cheers. Delete.
Alrighty. So we got Matt Hardy comes out and basically he talks about how the titles are decaying, and the only restoration is his broken brilliance. Jeff Hardy's music plays, and I love the crowd is so behind it. I think it's amazing how much the crowd is behind it. Jeff Hardy's even kind of getting into it, even though at times you still get confused with Jeff Hardy, because at times you think he's completely into it, and other times you're like, this guy's gonna turn on Matt Hardy, like it's gonna happen. So like you never really know where he's gonna go, which I think it kind of keeps you on your toes as a fan. But Jeff Hardy's into it, the crowd's into it, and I'm loving it. Um, Basically, Matt Hardy says he's going to spread his broken brilliance on Decay as he's talking to Jeff Hardy. He needs Jeff Hardy's help here a little bit. Rosemary, interrupts from the rafters, um, and she basically just talks about how the Decay has exactly what the Hardys want. How they're kind of in control. Which obviously if you're the champions, you're a little bit more in control than the challengers are, and I like that. Abyss comes down the ramp. This Abyss cracks me up. Abyss comes down the ramp holding the title up, kind of as a sign of like, once again, like I'm better than you, we're better than you, regardless. Um, and basically, he says, a victory for the Decay at Bound for Glory will be just like he is, beautiful. And I was like, yes, yes. And then Crazy Steve basically comes in from the crowd. He kind of talks down the Hardys too. And then Rosemary comes back in as the Decay kind of surround the Hardys. And Rosemary comes back in, and Matt Hardy's enraged because he's not happy that the Decay won't give in to his broken brilliance. And, Matt Hardy's not happy. So Matt Hardy says his obsolete mule will take on anyone from the Decay. Or I think probably said delete anyone from the Decay. And Abyss talks about kind of he and Jeff Hardy's history. So basically, Abyss and Jeff Hardy get put into a match. Any thoughts on the promo before we jump into the match? I definitely liked it. I think they work well off of each other. Like they're similar characters, but they're also different.
Yeah. I think they still need to work on Jeff a little bit, just because he's still, if he's going for this full broken Jeff, kind of brainwashed type of a thing, he needs to not play off the crowd as much. I feel like he just kind of needs to be that sort of broken zombie type thing, and he still kind of plays off the crowd too much for me to really believe it. And I think they need to change his ring attire a little bit more, because he just has the same, like, it's the same Jeff Hardy ring attire that, except for like the new like jacket thing, which I like, but it's just it's kind of like they started something but they didn't finish it. Like they're like, let's just throw this on him. That'll be good enough. I think they need to work on that a little bit, just to just tighten up loose ends on it. I loved this segment though. I love them playing off of each other. I love the Decay kind of coming from the crowd. I love when, especially sort of cryptic characters do that. Like I loved when Edge and Christian used to come through the crowd. You kind of had to look to see, where are they? I liked when the Shield used to come down through the crowd. Anytime somebody, comes through the crowd, and you can't just look at the entranceway. You have to kind of look to see where they are. Especially when you don't see them at first, when you just hear them. Like we kind of just heard Rosemary at first, and it was like, okay, where is she? That was kind of cool. And I feel like they played off each other really well. They kind of, started off this feud pretty good. I like how, they started with Abyss versus Jeff Hardy, and he kind of referenced how they've had a history in the past. And I'm surprised this wasn't a Monsters Ball match. I'm going to be honest. Every match they ever do is a Monsters Ball match.
Yeah, I was surprised too. But Anyway, we got Brother Nero, the broken, obsolete mule, versus the monster from the abyss. It's probably what Matt Hardy would say. Um, this
The
was this is
monster.
this was I liked this match. I did. Um, Obviously, Abyss has lost a step or two or three, yeah, and so is Jeff Hardy to a certain degree. But and that's why I was surprised that they put these two in the match together. I was surprised that it wasn't like Crazy Steve and not Abyss, Crazy Steve and Jeff Hardy or something like that. Like just because. Um, but I like it was a good back and forth matchup. Um, and it still seems like you were saying that Jeff Hardy's fighting being broken a little bit. It hasn't really hit him all the way or something. Because like he did the thing with the like creatures thing tonight, and then but he also did try to go up to the top turnbuckle again. And obviously Matt Hardy was not having that. Delete. I think Matt Hardy's just gonna take the the top turnbuckles away. He's gonna take them away. He's just gonna there's gonna be ring posts over there, like you can't climb the top turnbuckles. He's gonna delete them. Um, but basically he tells him, you can't stop being a spot monkey, which I thought was funny. And Jeff Hardy just jumps off of it anyway on the Crazy Steve instead of Abyss. Um, and then there at the end, Jeff Hardy tries to end the match with a swanton, but he gets hit with the miss by Rosemary, and basically it cost him the match. As Abyss picks up the win. Matt Hardy wasn't happy about that as well because Matt Hardy's like, "This is costing us the match. You got to make sure that you buy into my broken brilliance in order for us to win the title." So I'm definitely liking it. I think as far as from the storytelling standpoints, it's where it needs to be. And I want to see how it continues to build because we got a couple of weeks until um, Bound for Glory. So I think that they could really do some good stuff to build this. Any thoughts on Abyss versus Brother Nero, the broken obsolete mule?
Uh, I didn't think it was a bad match. I think what helped it a little bit was there was kind of not interference, but distraction just from Matt kind of on the mic, talking like, you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of, anything that might not have gone well you didn't notice as much. All the botching, you didn't notice as much. But I like the match. The only thing that was weird was when Matt Hardy bit Crazy Steve because he's like, the one in the premonition was Crazy Steve. And he goes and like bites his ear and his face. And then after, I was like, okay. And it didn't even look like blood. It just looked like pink makeup. I'm like, bruh, you can't get fake blood. Come on now.
Yeah, that got me too because I was like, is that like Kool Aid or something? He drank Kool Aid before he. I was like, okay, but also at the end of the match too, with the whole biting thing, they had the commentators mentioned Crazy Steve, laughing about it, which I thought was kind of cool. To kind of keep that whole mystique of the decay, like loving pain or whatever. I'm just enjoying, where it's going and whatnot. But next we went backstage again, with Ali, Maria, and Sienna, and apparently, somehow, some way, someone in control of the knockouts who's not Maria. This is an outrage. So, someone made a match without Maria's consent, and it's a title match, a knockouts title match, and it's Sienna. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't even get a chance to know who she has to face. The champion's supposed to be in control. Come on, TNA. And then Billy Corgan comes up. Callow. Billy Corgan comes up. Billy Corgan comes up and he says, Sienna. No, he didn't say it like that, but he said basically.
Did.
I can't. He says, Sienna, um, you got a match. You got a title match tonight. I made it. I did. I am the TNA president. If you didn't know, if you didn't check the Twitter machine or you didn't check our website, you would know. So basically, he lets her know that he made it. Maria's like, okay, it's fine. Yeah, I see you're the president. Whatnot, it's fine. Um, and then Sienna's like, but I'm the champ. I pretty much have beaten everyone. Like, I'm bigger, faster, and stronger than them. So what does it matter? Billy Corgan basically just throws a curveball in there, says, you're not just gonna have one opponent tonight. You're gonna have opponents. And she still doesn't know who our opponents are. So she was like, and he was like, your match is next and all of this. But I kind of like this. I don't know. I think it's kind of Billy Corgan trying to take the power away from Maria a little bit, which kind of confuses me because I don't know where that's going. I don't know if like officially she's just out of power or if she's still in power and we just don't know, or I'm confused about that. We'll get into the match in a second. Um, but any thoughts on the backstage? Matt Hardy deleting my words. The backstage segment tonight.
I mean, Billy is the president. He kind of outranks her, so like he could do that stuff. I'm just saying. That's how that works.
Outrage. This is an outrage. Maria Kanellis Bennett, MKB.
Maria Kanellis. How about I think you should call everyone like that. Just decay. Brother Nero.
I can't. Oh. Lashley. Oh man, are we just ready to move on to the knockout title match?
Yeah, let's just.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the knockout title match. We got Sienna versus Marty Bell versus Madison Rain versus Allie versus Jade for the Knockouts Championship. So basically versus the entire Knockouts division, besides Gail Kim. Pretty much. This was an interesting match, I guess. Sienna basically just dominated everyone, I think. Marty Bell and Jay, they're still going at it, which I like. They started out kind of going at each other. Oh, Marty Bell, man, she is a dream. Anyway, I like that they kind of go out after each other. They keep that, they still keep that going. I'm hoping they get a chance to go at it again at Bound for Glory. I hope they get that big match at that big show coming up. But Sienna was basically just dominant against everyone. She tried to take out Madison Rain pretty early. Allie was pretty much incompetent, it felt like, in this match. But near the end of this match, like, I don't even know. Like, Marty Bell comes in. She hits Allie with the baton. And this is after Jade had been taken out. She hits Allie with the baton. And then Allie falls on Jade and wins the Knockouts Championship. I don't know how to feel. I really don't. They got me with the surprise factor because I wasn't expecting that. But I don't know. I'm wondering, is this going to be like one of those things where Allie's going to finally turn into what we know she can be? It was all an act just to get her closer to the title, and then she'll turn. I hope so. Please. Let's do that. Because I think that could be really good. Because I know like the commentators have been playing up the fact that she can't wrestle and she's never wrestled before. But like I hope she kind of throws that out there. That she can. Like she's like, I'm a knockout champion, and I can actually wrestle, guys. It was all an act. Like I kind of hope she does do something. To kind of distance herself from the apprentice secretary type thing. But I kind of want to see what they're going to do with it, because with Sienna holding the title, it was just going to kind of be like Sienna and Maria, the reign of terror and all that. But like with Allie holding it, there's kind of that controversy there. And it might set up something between her and Sienna and actually let Allie actually do some good things in the ring. But I'm not sure. Any thoughts on your new knockout champion, actually? Your new knockout champion.
This match was so confusing on so many levels. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? I mean,
Sienna.
I'm happy that, Allie is the new champion, just because we know what she can do. We've seen her, matches in the indies and stuff. You can go on YouTube and see her matches. She can wrestle. Hopefully, like you said, they kind of change her character a little bit to show that yes, she can wrestle. They could do it in a storyline where it's some sort of secret or something. She just wanted to keep it a secret until she got to the title. Um, I think that would be a cool thing. If nothing else, just get rid of the loud, high pitched voice. That needs to stop.
Well,
Like,
you talking about Cowboy? Is that the one?
no, that one I
Oh.
like. The I'm the champion. This is my belt. I'm like, okay, I get it. Stop.
Byron. Oh my, I can't like with Allie. I do like her though.
Yeah.
I hope this is like her chance to shine. I could wrestle all along. Darn it! Like I hope it happens.
I hope they don't go for the story like the storyline where like she hands over the title to Maria, because I could see them doing that as a heel.
Yeah, I could see that. I hope not either.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's jump into. I think it was the Fact of Life, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's actually the Summit first. Yeah. All right, we got the EC3 Drew Galloway Summit. Apparently they rented a roof of a building. They didn't tell us whose building this was. Like this could have been my roof and I didn't know it. I wasn't sure. They didn't tell me. But they rented extravagant roof at that with a pool. They had whiskey or something. Was it Hennessy? What was it? What they have? I don't know. They was taking shots, whatever, drinking, getting turned. I thought the only thing that I didn't like about this was I was like, they've had all this bad blood. There was no continuity to me in this. They had all this bad blood for so long, and then I'm like, all right, guys, let's be friends. Let's drink a little bit. Up. Even at first, it started out as it was like gonna be like this intense thing, um, and then like they showed it, and it's like, so why are you mad at me though? Like I was like, I thought this was anyway. Basically the whole thing that went down was EC3 kind of just wanted to know why Galloway was mad at him, and they kind of drank a little bit and just talked over drinks a little bit, and he wanted to know why EC3 was or why Galloway was mad at him, and obviously Galloway's like, why I'm mad at you, kind of reviewing the whole, you screwed me once, shame on me, screwed me twice, shame on you, screwed me again, I'm gonna beat you up or whatever. However that saying would go if you screwed someone 3 times. And then basically, they kind of talk about wanting to be world champion again. EC3 says I'm going to be the EC3 time champ, ha ha ha, and all that. And then Galloway pushes him in the pool. So Galloway has the mental edge going into the the number one contender match, I guess, or the number 2 contender match technically. I don't know, but anyway, I mean, I liked it because it was different. It was like a different way of setting up a feud. I just wish it would have had a little more continuity to it. As far as like, it was so intense, like for the longest time, and then like, all right, guys, like, let's just drink a couple drinks, and let drink a couple beers. James Storm set this up, obviously. Let's drink a couple drinks, and then we'll be good. I was wondering about that. I just didn't understand that. Like the continuity, but I liked it as far as a different way of building a feud besides just the video package. I guess technically it's a video package, but But anyway, thoughts on the EC3 Drew Galloway Summit? I think we need a summit. I think we should just change the name of the podcast to the Instant Classic Wrestling Summit. I think it perfect.
Yeah, or not. But what you're telling me is the person that set this up was Cowboy. Yeah, there was just no continuity to this at all. Like you said, they went from this intense feud, building up aggression and this hatred and you screwed me, blah blah blah, to a couple frat guys hanging out at the pool, drinking, being
Hey,
buddy
I'm a
buddy.
frat guy. Don't you belittle me.
Two guys. But that's what it felt like. Like they were all buddy buddy. Like even when he pushed him in the pool, it was like, "Ha ha, I got you." What's up, man? Are we gonna watch football later? Yeah, man. Like I was like, are you guys feuding? Or are you guys gonna like go play mini golf later? What is this? I don't understand. Um, but it was just weird. Later on, it got better after the match. But we'll get
Yeah.
to that. Did you?
And do you think this built on it a little bit though? Like playing up Galloway because like I wasn't expecting the whole thing at the end, but
Yeah,
playing up Galloway as like a nice guy and like we're friends again, all of that.
I don't know. I felt a heel turn from Galloway. I felt it for a while just because they're trying to push EC3 more as a face now after he was a heel for so long. Uh, but did you notice when EC3 was in the pool, he did the Triple H water thing? He was like, I was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that. Alrighty, I think we are at the fact of life with Eli Drake, and his guests are the X Division.
Tell me, yeah.
And Eli Drake does his thing. Basically, no one can stand up to Eli Drake. No one has enough tingle in their loins to face Eli Drake. All of that. The typical stuff. When I say dummy, you say, "Yeah, I'm not talking to you, dummy. I'm talking to me." The typical stuff that we all love. Um, and basically, he tries to stir up a little controversy, which I liked. Basically, he said, I'm gonna give you guys, I don't know where my King of the Mountain title went. I'm a little upset about that. But I'm gonna give you guys a chance to talk about this X Division Championship, which was on the podium. This X Division Championship that you guys all you guys all want. So tell me who doesn't deserve to be X Division champion. And Rockstar Spud comes out and he's like, that guy right there, talking about Braxton Sutter, which was hilarious. Um,
He's
freaking,
right though. He's right.
but I thought that was funny. Still continuing that feud. Which I liked. He basically just belittles everyone in the X division. Like it was a roast session from Rockstar Spud. He tells Mandrews that you shouldn't have a skateboard and you shouldn't be from England. He what he told he told freaking he told Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee that they're from North Carolina, so that explains it all. Like he had me cracking up. I love Rockstar Spud as a heel. I think Rockstar Spud as a heel champion would be amazing. I honestly hope he wins it. I would love. I want to see DJZ win it because it's been so long. He told DJZ he hasn't won in 4 years, so why should I believe in you now? So I would love to see Rockstar Spud win the title. Because before he was known as like the underdog, but I think now he can really take that next step as a champion. Even though he will be a 3-time champion by then, but he could really take that next step as the next division champion. I feel like and really solidify himself as a serious competitor, which I'm really liking. I'm loving him as a heel. I want more of it. Basically, this match, not this match, this segment, it could have been a match. This segment ended with pandemonium practically. Dives and such, and Eli Drake, and DJZ were left in the ring. DJZ takes advantage of that, and DJZ is holding up the X Division champion. Maybe a little foreshadowing, I don't know. But any thoughts on the fact of life with Eli Drake? Yeah.
I love when Rockstar Spud is describing Mandrews. He's like, "You're just a blonde guy from England," and I'm like, "Bruh, you just described yourself. Like, what are you doing?" and, and then DJZ, that man just has a death wish. Always calling out Bobby Lashley. I'm like, you just want to die. Like nobody's gonna back you up. They're gonna back you up now, but when Lashley comes out, nuh-uh, nobody gonna back you up. You just gonna die.
Yeah, I enjoyed the segment though. I thought it was a good way to showcase the X division without putting them in a match. It would have been fine if it would have been a match, but it was, it did basically all the same things that the match would have done. It built up different stuff, which I like. And next week we got the X Division Gauntlet match, so I wonder how that's going to play out. The Ultimate X Gauntlet match, actually. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out. That should be interesting to see how they do that. Um,
That
but
could have an Ultimate X match. That would be a thing that they could do. That match they used to have
what'd you say?
for the X Division title. That thing. Yeah, do that. Don't do a stupid gauntlet. I don't know.
So you're mad that it's a gauntlet?
Depending on how they set it up. Like, if it's an actual Ultimate X match and they set it up as a gauntlet somehow, that'll be fine. As long as it's an actual Ultimate X match.
I think that's what they're doing. I think. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It's interesting.
We'll
Let's jump into the main event of the evening. We had Drew Galloway versus EC3. If you didn't know by the summit, that is the main event. Drew Galloway versus EC3 with Aaron Rex as the guest referee.
Wait, I thought they were best friends. Why are they in a match? I was
I
pretty sure
know.
they were
I
best
don't.
friends.
I don't get it. I don't. But anyway, I like this because even like it started out as like a technical match a little bit. Like the first like 3 seconds. Started out as a technical match.
That first move was really technical.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of started out as a technical match, and then the slap by Galloway. Nope. No more of that. Uh, the slap by Galloway, just that was it. Um, and this is just a physical match, and I definitely liked it. I think these guys both can go. Can just match physicality with one another. Freaking Galloway with that Celtic cross on the steps. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like you ain't have to do that to the man like that. Like you didn't. But but anyway, I I like that. I thought that was freaking amazing. Um, Galloway almost killing EC3 with that tombstone. Like ow. I don't even know how Galloway be like getting people into these tombstones. I don't even understand. Like I heard they was heavy and like they're hard to pick up, so I don't understand how you do it. But I love Galloway though. I think Galloway. Oh man, I'm excited for Galloway in the future. But Galloway tries to go for a future shock in the corner. Speaking of future, a future shock in the corner. But EC3 hits a um, Hangman's 1%er. And then EC3 ends up winning basically by kind of stacking up Drew Galloway a little bit, just any means necessary, I guess you could say. And that was pretty much it. It was a good match, though. I definitely enjoyed. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. It was a good physical matchup. It was aggressive. The storytelling was great, and I like that Galloway, for the most part, and it's gonna really help him coming up in the future with the heel turn. Is Galloway shows his emotions on his face in his matches a lot, and I think that's gonna help him a lot when he starts to be a heel. Because I really like the aggressiveness, the like seriousness of Drew Galloway. I think there's a lot that could be done with that. But any thoughts on the main event of the evening?
I really liked it. It was really vicious. It was aggressive. It did tell the story. That the summit didn't at all in any way at all. Like if you just watch the summit, you have no idea. You have no idea. But I liked it. The Celtic cross. If you watch it back, he actually smacks his head off the ring apron too. I was like, oh, ooh, that's not fun. Um, But I definitely liked the match. It felt even throughout the match, you kind of, to an extent, I feel like you felt like Galloway was slowly turning heel. You know, just the way he was, you know, how vicious he was, which I'm excited for. I like EC3 more as a face now, just because he was a heel for so long, and I like that Drew Galloway is kind of going heel now after, you know, since he came into you know, TNA, he's been like this super face, uh, you know,
Leonidas,
yeah,
as Pope calls him, or
yeah,
used to.
wrestling matters, all that stuff. You know, he kind of started that, and now it's going to be like, you know, completely different, which is kind of cool. You know, something that, you know, they could have done with John Cena. You, sorry, almost went on the thing there.
But after the match, basically Aaron Rex and Drew Galloway are left in the ring, and Drew Galloway shakes his hand. He does. He gives him a little shake, a little shaky shake, and then he kills him. Basically, he takes it. He attacks him, takes him to the outside, runs him into the apron, runs him to the guardrail, runs him into the apron, runs him into the guardrail, runs him into the steel post, runs him into the steel steps. I mean, he's dead. I mean, he's dead. Like it's a true statement. Um, those freaking steel step shots like were pretty doggone good. I was like, okay, dang, like you ain't gotta kill the man. Yo, you can wait. You can wait, Galloway. You can. Um, but I like this heel turn. I think this is gonna be really good for Galloway. Um, gonna give him something new to do. But I don't think it's gonna give him something like give him a heel turn where he feels like he's entitled either, like he was with the Chosen One. So it gives him something new to do in TNA, but also doesn't take him back to his WWE days when he was just the Chosen One and like he was entitled as a heel. Now he's just going to be aggressive and probably killing people as a heel. But any thoughts on Drew Galloway's heel turn or any updates on the status of Aaron Rex? Because he's dead.
Uh, Also, a segment that you missed earlier was
Where?
Lashley and Moose outside
Oops,
the car.
I did. I wrote that down. I really did write that down though. Yeah, that was funny. We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um, we'll get to that in a second. We'll backtrack in a second. But I like this. I feel like this had to happen. That match just went way too clean, especially for it being a special guest referee match. You know, anytime you have a special guest referee match, either the referee, you know, does something heelish, or, you know, somebody turns. So, you know, I felt like that had to happen, or it would have been like, what's the point? I'm curious which way they're going to kind of immediately go. If they're going to go with Aaron Rex kind of getting revenge on, you know, Drew Galloway, or if they're going to just continue Drew Galloway in EC3, or if it's going to turn into sort of, you know, Aaron Rex and, you know, EC3 teaming up against Drew Galloway. There's a couple different ways they could kind of go with this, which kind of makes it exciting. You know, there's a couple of different things that they could do. So I'm just, you know, I just want to see what they do with this. I feel like, you know, either way, it's going to be good. And I'm excited to see Aaron Rex actually wrestle, because we haven't seen him wrestle in like forever. Like actually wrestle in forever, not like, you know, be the Miz. We saw that a lot.
Alrighty, we got run back to the Moose and Gallo, Moose and Lashley situation. Moose was walking to his car. I'm gonna mute you real quick because your echo is killing me personally. Um, but Moose basically is walking to his car, and you know, seems like he's got a little long way to go, a little bit, long way to go. And Lashley pulls up, you know, and he says, you know, maybe when you're the champ, basically, or you know, maybe when you get a little, you know, a little more experience, you get a closer parking spot. but you do realize that Ben is kind of using you, right? Like, why don't you come to dinner tonight? We'll talk it over. About being your own man and whatnot. We'll talk it over, and we'll buy. We'll get some steak and whatnot, and I might even let you pick up the tab, which I thought was pretty funny. I I like this because it shows that they're at least pointing towards Moose being his own man, which is good. They're pointing towards him being his own man and not being the fixer. But anyway, so I do like that. And I think when Moose and Galloway, not Moose, Galloway, this man is all up in my mind right now. Moose and Bennett, when they go at it, it's gonna be good. But Moose and Lashley is gonna be really good too. I'm excited about that, and I'm wondering if they're gonna like align, or if this is just gonna kind of be one of those things where Lashley's just gonna kind of get in his head and it's gonna cause him to turn on Mike Bennett sooner rather than later. And it might even affect next week's match. Not really sure, but it might. Any thoughts on the kind of pulling up, cruising down the street in my 6'4" type thing that we had? Uh, no, it don't work like that. You didn't like it.
Uh, no. I liked it. I think it would be cool if they teamed up. They'd be real dominant. But I feel like Lashley is booked too much as like just a independent. He's gonna just do everything on his own, unless he wants to get all the titles and go for the tag team titles, and then he would have all the titles. I'm just but I like the mind games too. That's kind of a smart thing for him to do as a heel to kind of get in Moose's head a little bit. Kind of second guessing what Bennett's doing, even though in a way he's kind of helping him. So it's kind of I don't know. I like this segment that you forgot that
Sorry,
you wrote down.
I did. I wrote it down. I just forgot about it. I remember writing it down. Um, but anyway, that's your TNA Impact Wrestling review for 8th 25 2016. August 25th, if you don't know, the numbers and stuff, I got you. August 25th. But I thought it was a pretty good show. To not have a lot of matches on it, it wasn't really that like drawn out or boring or anything to me. I enjoyed it. There wasn't a lot of botching tonight. There just wasn't. But anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. And it'll be a good thing. Give us a like. Follow us on Twitter at ICW. We'll talk to you in case you want, but we will, or well, I will. Uh, we as an I,
I
we'll talk
will.
to
I
you.
will too. I will.
He won't. He won't. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to give us a like. We like to see likes. We like to see likes.
We
But
like
other than that, we do. We do. But anyway, other than that, I guess we will see you guys later. Peace.